It's a matter of life and death. Life after garbage. You know, we're using plastic bottle become a new carpet. Reducing the consumption, reducing the amount of waste generated per capita.
Jamaica is in crisis. Our solid waste management is really not where it needs to be.
People don't listen. A good percentage of people don't care.
No, because if peace take me now, where will I me? I'm going to cross the road. Right away. Shut up, peace and come back.
Who in Jamaica don't know that if you store water, if you have container around the house that store water, it breeds mosquito? I think everybody knows that. Disease, so much outbreaks in this country, it is you, your children that's been affected.
Fire officials have now contained the blaze at the Riverton City dump in St. Andrew. The National Solid Waste Management Authority says the fire is suspected to have been started by spontaneous combustion.
Stop wasting money. Jamaica needs to get its priorities straight. Poor waste management is a top priority issue, one that continues to affect many sectors of our country. So why? Why is it that Jamaica looks like this? Don't we care? Oh, I think we care. But about what? What do we really care about? What is at the tippy top of our priority list? My bet is, whether you're from downtown or uptown, you care a lot about money, especially money that's in your pocket. The problem is most of us Jamaicans don't know the true value of our waste. We think garbage has no value at all, which is absolute rubbish. Think of it this way. All waste should be seen as raw material for a new product to generate money. The monetary value of garbage becomes clear when you consider the expense of poor waste management to our country. Consider the damage to our infrastructure, such as flooding caused from black gullies and drains, damage to our tourism, dirty beaches, smelly towns caused from sewage water, damage to our fishing and agriculture, the eutrophication caused from overuse of fertilizers that eventually gets washed into the Kingston Harbor, damage to our health, caused from mosquito-borne diseases, toxic chemicals in the air, water, and food, which increases our risk of cancer. These cost millions of dollars and shorten lives. Good waste management generates money. There are plenty of lucrative opportunities in waste-to-profit industries. For example, in the city of Oslo, Norway, they have an incinerator that generates energy from garbage.
For instance, run a waste incinerator, you get about 50% of your earnings from the sale of energy and about 50% from the fee you get from the one who gives you the waste.
With the advanced technology that is available today, the incinerator captures and buries its emissions without releasing it into the atmosphere.
Garbage is burned to generate energy. That's an industry. Plastic bottles become shredded and become a new carpet. And that industry produces opportunity downstream for businesses and money. Right? Not just discarded. Because inevitably, with population increases and or income growth or whatever, you're going to have increased waste generation because of increased consumption. But reducing the consumption, reducing the amount of waste generated per capita is going to be an important element.
We imported just over $600 million worth of goods in January 2019. And for the same period, we only exported $98 million worth of goods. That is not good. What I am saying is, the more we reuse and repurpose materials locally, the less we will need to pay to import more products. Jamaica saw a 2% growth in its gross domestic product for the final quarter of 2018. This is partially due to the sustainable agriculture industry. If we were to compost our organic waste, which is roughly 66% of all waste generated, we could increase our exports of foods and compost, not to mention reduce local prices for vegetables and grown produce significantly, as fertilizers tend to drive food prices up.
We have to earn our way, and so we felt it wasn't good enough for us to pick up things from areas and just bring it into a dump. We felt we could use it to earn, and so we have started to collect the cuttings from the road. We collect the manure from Caymanas, and we have produced the best compost in Jamaica and possibly in the world.
That was from 2011. I am strongly suggesting to the National Solid Waste Management Authority to scale this operation up to include most, if not all, of the 66% of organic waste currently being generated in Jamaica. If that is done, this will be tremendously profitable for the country. As our population increase, we will inevitably generate more waste as a country. However, we are currently generating way more waste than we need to. In 2018, the National Solid Waste Management Authority collected a total of approximately 922,197 tons of garbage. Please remember that this does not include the large amounts of garbage that has been thrown into gullies or burned island-wide. If you're wondering what happens to your trash after it gets collected, well, it finds its way to one of the island's dumps. Of all of them, Riverton is the largest, where approximately 60% of all waste gets dumped. The main reason for its large size and quantity is because most businesses and more than a quarter of the country's population reside in Greater Kingston or the corporate area. On the National Solid Waste Management Authority's website, it says that in the past the Riverton landfill has had animals grazing on it, that garbage is unsorted, and that there are frequent fires. However, visiting the dump recently, I noticed that these conditions still exist today. A matter of fact, there was a major fire as recent as March 27, 2019.
Fire officials have now contained the blaze at the Riverton City dump in St. Andrew. The National Solid Waste Management Authority says the fire is suspected to have been started by a spontaneous combustion.
Please note that the NSWMA have made improvements to the Riverton site. However, these problems still do persist. I think the best thing we can do to help is to reduce the amount of garbage that we send to these dump sites.
We involved in recycling too. The e-waste, we place it in 20-foot and 40-foot containers, and at a later date they will export it or sell it. The location of the disposal site, established in a wetland area, it affects the mangrove, it affects the Duane River.
So our really a gone. I interviewed experts in their field to get an idea of why Jamaica's waste management is in such a bad state. Why aren't there more serious penalties for people who break the littering laws? What are the challenges being faced by the National Solid Waste Management Authority? And what are their plans for the future?
Hi, I'm Stanley. I'm the CEO of Jamaica Environment Trust. Jamaica is in crisis. Our solid waste management is really not where it needs to be. Garbage litters our streets, it litters our drains, our gullies. All it takes is one heavy rainfall, and all of this garbage that has been thrown away carelessly in our roadways and gullies just washes out to sea. Some of it washes up on our beaches. That impacts our tourism product. There's also public health impacts and environmental impacts, which are more obvious from garbage carelessly discarded in our environment. We are hurting ourselves. You know, we have really, in the way that we manage our garbage in Jamaica, we've really almost waged war on ourselves and on our economy. Their economic impacts not only relate to tourism, but also relates to our fishing industry and, you know, any kind of marine activity. So we really need to do better at managing our garbage in Jamaica, and that needing to do better, you know, that statement is targeted really at every sector of society. There are things that we as individuals need to do, you know, citizens of Jamaica, in the way that we manage our garbage better. Doing things like reducing the amount of garbage we use was once a foreign concept, but we really, I think, have become a lot more aware of the need to just reduce the amount of waste we produce at home and in our businesses and in our daily activities in the first place. Now, with that being said, yes, there are individual responsibilities, but there are things that we need to do on a national level and are the responsibility of the state, of the government. It's not all the government's problem, which is why I started with the individuals, but there does need to be greater enforcement of our anti-litter laws, our anti-dumping regulations. There needs to be an improvement in those regulations, put it in a little bit more teeth in them. For example, the public cleansing regulations have just been languishing in government without being passed for many, many years. And you know, the passing of those regulations, that legislation, will go a long way, once enforced properly, to reducing the amount of garbage that is just carelessly discarded in our environment. Because of course, at the moment, I think many people think that there's no penalty.
You get a little ticket like a police.
Yeah.
Oh, say no about that.
Don't take it serious.
No, because if peace take me now, where will I go across the road? Right away. Shut a piece and come back, take a back out and I can't wash my hand.
I tell a man, say, go to court to pay $50 or $100. He laugh. Laugh at it. So the fines need to be addressed. We need fines that deter. Somebody should know that if you are caught throwing things in the gully, or put it this way, littering period, that you're gonna pay and pay dearly. Once we get the regulations in place, we will, if we have to use the army, not just the police alone, if we have to use the army, once the regulations are enforced, we will be going 100%. Firstly, we will carry the message of cooperation as I've been doing, but we will have the deployment of the muscle. The other thing is, we need to have leadership, and here I mean community leaders, civic leaders, political leaders that look the people in the face and tell them the truth to stop nasty up the place, stop dirty up Jamaica. Jamaica Environment Trust, for example, they have a massive campaign called Dirty Up Jamaica. Millions of dollars spent on that campaign. People still dirty up Jamaica. People don't listen. People don't care. This country, being through Chick-V, when almost half of the country couldn't walk. They went through Zip-V, and we were warned during those times about the Aedes aegypti mosquito and why it's important not to have bulky waste thrown in your yard, why it's important not to have old cans and old paint tins and all that in your yard. Just a month or two ago, we were battling dengue, and we were out there collecting the same old cans from people's backyard and old tires.
It's important that they know when the garbage truck is going to be coming so that they can make the preparations to get the garbage out and packaged in a way and that it's accessible for the garbage collectors, the people, the hard working men and women who are tasked with picking up our garbage in Jamaica.
We need to have more trucks, efficient trucks, that we can run proper schedules. That's a huge challenge. The trucks have to keep in throttle. We can't turn off the trucks because the compactor won't work. That is using up these lines that you have to pay for. And we get detained one place too long, we can't move to the next place. So it slows the operation down and create all sort of problem there. Some areas that are unplanned settlements, which is difficult to get into, right? So we have to make special arrangement for them to bring the garbage to a point, and then we don't get the full buy-in of everyone. Because of the desire to be popular or to have the people on your side, everybody curse the agency. So the people in the whole equation don't get the sense of responsibility. They don't get that, look here, I'm responsible for this space and I should prevent this. No, it is more, why the solid waste don't go? That we have to switch. That is our flawed thinking. It's difficult to legislate good behavior, you know.
What is best is for everyone to accept their responsibility, stop pointing fingers, and looking for someone else to blame. Living off of the dump. I had the opportunity of meeting Vivian, who makes a living by sorting material off the dump and selling it to recycle companies. Companies such as Recycle Partners, Jamaica Recycles, and Gravita Jamaica Limited.
Cardboard price is very low.
Oh, very low.
Very, very low. $1,500 per ton. Per ton.
Whoa.
We need more company to collect the waste that we add here, that we can send our kids to school so that they can come out to be a prime minister, a police, a lawyer in the future. Our companies for the recycled, for the waste materials, because we have things on the landfill that is causing problems too, because they don't easy to rotten. Because plastic is not a thing that into rotten, it causes a problem. So if we could get the government to have more company, it would be better for us. So we're asking the government to do something for us here, because we need help on the landfill.
Approximately 150 persons who involved in recycling at the Riverton disposal site. Officially, they are not supposed to be on the disposal site. It's their way of living. They are sending a number, they are feeding their children, they are sending a number of people to high school, universities, and they are benefiting from the disposal site. We also benefit from what they are doing. Tons of material are being removed from the disposal site by these sorters, right? By recycling, by the recycling process. So we are benefiting from their activity on the disposal site. Some of them will remove aluminum, copper, and metal, plastic, PET bottles, hard form of plastic, and they also sell this on the open market. They are recycling, and trucks would come in. Probably say the same trucks that bring garbage here might assist them, but they would have their private trucks that come in and remove the things to the location where they are selling it. And some of the companies send their trucks also to assist.
It's not the government responsibility.
So we all need to do much better at managing our waste. We need to improve the way our waste is managed at the household level, all the way to where it ends up. And then of course, once you've reduced, you've reused, you've recycled, you've composted, anything that's left over that you are not able to deal with by any of those methods, put it in a garbage bag and put it in a bin.
At source, we need that mind, and your documentary must communicate clearly that we are responsible for the solid waste that we generate. And I'm putting out the call through your medium to everyone out there. Look at your surroundings, look at the different disease that we have so much outbreaks in this country. It is your children that's being affected when you don't take the necessary actions to keep your surroundings clean. It's a matter of life and death.
Hi, I'm Shane Orlando Brown.
thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video documentary on Jamaica's waste management. Now, while completing this project, I realized that a lot of persons dispose of their waste inappropriately. They don't see trash as having any value, and a lot of it makes it into gullies. All it takes is one good rainfall for all that trash to make it into the Kingston Harbor. Share your views, and I would love to know if you also share my passion for Jamaica's sustainability and that you want to see Jamaica clean and healthy, green and wealthy. Once again, thank you so much for watching this documentary. I hope that you have a long and healthy life.